The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Jalen Brunson here, 26 seconds to go. Knicks are down by 2, and Brunson ties it up, 105 all into overtime. Bam Adebayo from Miami had 30. But Brunson was captain clutch again, scoring 14 of the Knicks' final 23. Here he is on the outside for 3 of his 31. And the Knicks prevail in Miami, 116 to 112. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto along with Hahn and Wally Szczerbiak. So the Knicks win it in overtime. They were down by 19, Allen, in the third quarter. It's their biggest come-from-behind win of the year. And through 60 games now, they are 40-20.
There's been a lot of signature wins this season. Yep. We've seen a lot of them. We saw one Friday night, it felt like. This is definitely one. This was a game that felt like one of those games that the Knicks just couldn't figure it out. The zone was bothering them. This kid Ware was dominating them in the paint. They gave up 40 points in the paint. That second half, you see, again, the switch was flipped. And not only, well, I guess we're used to Jalen Brunson having these big clutch moments and making big plays. But what you saw in the second half of this game, and I saw it Friday night in Memphis as well, Wally, is OG Anunoby locking back in again. And when he plays like that, the Knicks are a different-looking team.
This was also one of Tom Thibodeau's best coach wins. The way he manipulated matchups to dominate that fourth quarter and get the Knicks back in the game. He played small. He changed matchups. He had Anunoby guarding Hero for most of the time. He got Khalil Ware out of the game by going small and making sure that he couldn't go out there because Towns can stretch him and bring him away from the basket. He manipulated matchups perfectly, and then when you have the best clutch player in the league, I think he's number one. I think if you need a big shot at the end of a game and you're down or you're tied or whatever it is in the last 5 minutes, you want Jalen Brunson doing it. And I'm talking the whole entire NBA. What he has been doing this year is incredible. He did it again. He willed his team to another victory. This guy is just fun to watch.
He comes through every single night. You reference points in the paint. The turnaround was dramatic. In the first half, the Knicks were outscored points in the paint 40-20. They're down 17 of the half. And for the game, the Knicks end up winning the points in the paint stat 58-56. How did it turn around?
It's just the game. I'm not going to talk about points in the paint now because the threes the Knicks hit, it's just how basketball goes.
But they were not even in the game in the first half.
Yeah, I think I'll say what Bill's trying to say here, which is the game flipped in the second half because Miami no longer was getting easy buckets in the paint. That where it turned. Yes, the Knicks made baskets. Brunson and Anunoby had big third quarters to turn the game. But there was a minute there in that first half where it looked like the Knicks could not stop the Heat. They had to get there first, and then once the offense clicked, that's when they were able to take over the game.
It flipped because the momentum of the game flipped.
Alan, thank you. Thank you, Alan.
The Knicks completely became the aggressors and the dominant team. Yeah. And the dominant team is going to dominate every stat on the stat sheet when you're making a run to will yourself to a victory. That's just what happens. You don't care where the points come from. You don't know how they get there. You find a way to get a win that your team needs. That's all that went through these players' minds. They just executed, and they willed themselves to a victory.
All right, let's take a look at the fourth quarter and then overtime. The Knicks down 19, as we talked about in the third quarter. Were able to come back, Wally, force the extra period, and win in overtime.
Yeah, and that's just domination there by Jalen Brunson. And Tom Thibodeau manipulated matchups where you could not double Jalen. Notice he's not dealing with a double team. Highsmith is a bigger defender and a good defender. OG felt like he had 10 blocks tonight. He was getting his hands on absolutely everything. That layup ties the game up here. And Deuce McBride, big shot here over Tyler Hero.
This gives them the lead.
Yep.
First lead, I believe, of the night, right? Right on this shot.
I mean, this is just, and it was interesting the way he left Deuce out there and kept Mikal Bridges on the bench. That was a huge shot. Gave a
4.
Yeah,
right.
Yep, they got the lead there, and then Hero again took advantage. That was a 5-point game at this point. And then this was a huge basket just to keep the Knicks in it. Get that tip in, keeps the Knicks in it. And then Jalen Brunson takes over the rest of the way. Notice no shot blocking. I mean, the fact that Khalil Ware wasn't in the game, Jalen Brunson was able to dominate. There's your answer why they were able to dominate points in the paint.
There you go, Bill. Now, that's the end of regulation.
Right,
right. So we're at 105. We go into overtime. Bam Adebayo had it going one-on-one against Anunoby with a couple of early buckets. Brunson answered, but still, they were up 1. Then this happened.
That was the big shot because they were down 2. He gave them the lead. Hero had just taken a 3 to give him a 5-point lead, but he missed it. And then Josh Hart slashed into the basket, builds on the lead, builds the lead to 4.
Just after he fell on his back and looked like he might be injured, but he got back into the game.
All right.
Showed toughness.
The stats, guys, as you see, rebounding to the Knicks, offensive rebounds to the Knicks. We talked about points in the paint. And again, the Knicks' largest lead was 5. Miami's largest lead was 19. It is the most the Knicks have come back to win a game all year in terms of how far they were down. Alan, you touched on OG Anunoby. 23 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Filled it up. You can't fill it up any better than that.
That was filled up the box score for sure. And again, I also thought his defense in the second half, he went and started guarding Bam Adebayo. That changed
Hero.
things. Then he went on to Hero.
He guarded all the best players
he went,
out there.
He just, who's cooking?
Yes.
Let me take over. But you also saw a lot of that perfect timing. 2-man game with him and Brunson. They were working off of each other. This is a confident shot right there.
Shirts out, comes untucked. That's a good day's work,
you know
Bill
what?
Pidto.
I was going to tell you.
That's like you at the 150.
When
roll
his
up the
shirt's
sleeves.
untucked, you know Anunoby's having a good game. And he was trash talking. He was talking to people like he was really engaged in this. Look at him, locking him up.
How about that sequence
turnover
right there?
Yeah, he started barking there. Watch this right here.
That is mean. That is so mean. Anunoby, if he gets mean, look out, NBA. Because
and this effort play here.
Yeah, just huge.
That was key because it brought him to within 2.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that was key.
And then this put it away.
And that's smart. Don't go out and let them foul you. You have a chance to miss the free throws. You get a ball under there, finish it.
Yep.
Get the points, take the points. That extended the lead to 4. So many times, sometimes you're dribbling, you have a wide open layup. You want to kill 3 seconds before they foul you, but then you're risking missing 1 or 2 of the free throws, and then you're not going to get those 2 points just banked. I love the way Anunoby just went straight to the basket. I'll take the points. Who cares about the clock? And then we'll do it on the defensive end of the floor. They secured the game on D.
All right, guys, let us now bring in Monica McNutt. She helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, the game was in Miami, but it seemed like it was a home Knicks crowd. It was crazy.
Listen, the Knicks were still down 14, I think. Yeah, because I said to Pat, the way that this crowd is reacting play to play, you would think that this was a 5-point game. And Pat goes, yeah, and it's 14. So the Knicks fans that were here in Miami literally put all their effort in, chips all into the table in terms of willing this team back into this ball game, particularly in that third quarter where you started to see the Knicks wake up and you saw them taking advantage, particularly in the rebounding category first, and then everything sort of stemmed from there as you went into the fourth quarter in the overtime period.
And Monica, on Friday night, you famously told OG to smile. But I'll tell you what, I like the snarl on his face in this game, especially in the second half. Anunoby, Wally and I were just talking about it, jersey out. I mean, you could tell that he was really engaged in this game once again. Doesn't it feel like these last 2 games that he's starting to get back into his groove after having that foot injury?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's letting the 3 fly. How many threes did he take tonight? And he hit a fair amount. What is he, 4 of 9? So he knocks down 4. He takes 9. But Pat and I talked about this on the radio. The defensive call to put him on Bam Adebayo and take Karl-Anthony Towns off of him, because we joked that Karl-Anthony Towns and Bam Adebayo was like King Kong and Godzilla. It was not productive. It was not going nowhere. It was just 2 giant bodies banging around on the floor. But OG Anunoby, while he gave up a little bit in height, he was able to pester Bam Adebayo, use his quickness, particularly late in the fourth quarter, to create a steal or at least a jump ball situation. And Bam Adebayo is a great player. He's going to hit shots, but you can make it as difficult as possible. So between the 3-point shooting, between the putback on the Jalen Brunson 3 late in the fourth quarter, that was huge, and the defense tonight, it definitely feels like OG Anunoby is in a confident stride right now.
Monica, we got to go to Jalen Brunson. Mr. Clutch does it again, just wills his team to victory. How is he doing this on a nightly basis?
Wally, I don't know. DoorDash, we should sit down with Jalen Brunson and do another tape breakdown like we did last season, because it is mystifying, Wally. Like, you appreciate, obviously you guys, I know you know this, but you appreciate his footwork. I think you appreciate his poise, right? And then you just have confidence that when he has the basketball, I thought one moment that was really indicative of that was when Josh Hart got that rebound, again, late in the fourth quarter. And we know that when Josh gets a rebound, he is capable of pushing full speed and getting a high percentage shot. But he brought the ball back out and found number 11, because that's the guy that everybody rooting for, orange and blue, knows should have the basketball basketball, and he did indeed make the right play with that one. And so I just think the confidence that he has in himself, the work that he puts into the game daily allows him to rise up in those moments. Y'all know his quote, the magic is in the work.
Mm-hmm. All right, Monica, thanks so much. Have a safe trip home, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Knicks beat the Heat in OT by 4. The Wally Wall coming up, but first, Tom Thibodeau's post-game comments presented by Chase.
How about just pulling off another close game?
Yeah, obviously we didn't want to get in a hole like we did in the first half. They've been playing really well. So I thought our defense tightened up in the second half, and the rebounding was really good. Then we started making shots, and then there were timely plays and a lot of hustle plays that really got us going. So, it was slow in the first half, and some of it was, that we were missing, open threes, and we let that take away from, the intensity that we needed defensively. And but I thought the second half was really good.
Brunson in the fourth quarter, he had 16 points in the fourth quarter in overtime period. They were really timely points.
It's sort of like you get used to it. But I thought the thing that I liked was, and obviously he's such a huge part of it, but his teammates also liked finding a way to win. And some guys like Cat coming up with 16 rebounds, and it wasn't going our way for anyone, But the thing, like with Jalen in the first half, he doesn't fight the game, and I thought his aggression to start the third quarter, I thought was really huge for us. It gave us the spark that we needed to get going, and then the rebounding, OG was phenomenal the whole night, and Mikal, 8 assists, but in just, whatever way, some nights you may not shoot well, but just help in any way that you can. And I think that's what we're getting. I thought Deuce came in and was phenomenal. I thought Cam, when we were flat in the first half, that group that came in the second quarter gave us a spark also, and that gave us some life. And then we didn't close out the second quarter like we would have liked to, but the start of the third, I think, set the tone for the rest of the game. I think they had a lot of points in the paint in the first half, and I thought in the second half was much better. Our shell was a lot tighter, and we reacted to the ball. We read the ball a lot better.
Two-way play of
Phenomenal. And just guarding everybody. And Bam is a load to deal with, and so he guarded him at times, but just timely rebounds in traffic, assists, shots. He did it all. It was a tremendous game from him. Josh was, his usual hustle, made some timely plays in the zone, I thought, just to create advantages for us, and that's what we need. And then at the end, reacting to loose balls, I think getting on the floor, things like that, that goes a long way towards winning. Yeah, and and the thing is, that's what you love about the team. And it's whoever's got it going, we're going to ride those guys a little bit more. And then, the most important thing is the team winning, and Mikal's fully engaged in the team, and he does a lot of the dirty work for us, and it's much appreciated. He guarded Hero about as well as you could. And, Hero's an all-star, and so there's a million screens you got to get through. But that group got going, and so we rode them longer. And Mikal was terrific with inbounding the ball and the stuff that we needed at the end from him, and also we were going offense, defense with Mitch and he at the end. So and just help the team in any way you can. And we got a team full of guys like that, and I think that goes a long way. So some nights it may be someone else's night, and that's the guy we got to ride. If we're putting the team first, that's what you do.
Can you talk a little bit about the way Mitch played? He was on the ground all over.
Yeah. And again, that's just help us win. And he's working his way back. but his size is such a huge factor. And then he has the ability to get up on dribble handoffs. He's up on pick and rolls. He was hustling. And I think when you see a guy like that, he's been out as long as he has to get on the floor and to come up with loose balls. That's the type of stuff that brings you together as a team and it inspires you. I thought we had a number of plays like that.
And that is Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau. We are at the Wally Wall right now because Bill asked the question, how did things turn around? And while, of course, points in the paint and defense was a part of it, some big shots and big plays late and big decisions late. This right here with 37 seconds to go and the Knicks down 2 was a huge defensive decision that led to a big offensive finish.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at how Spoelstra, freeze it there. Spoelstra has Highsmith setting the screen because he wants the switch with Jalen Brunson onto Tyler Hero. Now go ahead and run it. Now keep an eye on OG Anunoby. He's like, I'm not letting this happen. So he comes over and doubles. Freeze it there. When he doubles, now it's wide open shot here for Highsmith. And here is Deuce McBride. He doesn't want to come up, and he tries to challenge a little bit, but the Knicks will live with that shot. That's a wide open three, but it's the right guy taking it. Now look at this. Josh Hart frees it there. Where's my guy? Get it to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson gets it, and when Jalen Brunson has no one to protect the paint, I agree with you, Bill Pidto, that's why the points in the paint completely flipped, because there's no big guy under there to block shots. Bam Adebayo's out at the three-point line. Jalen Brunson gets to the basket, easy 2. Knicks tie it up in regulation, then they took it to overtime and took care of business. That was a big-time play, but that was all Spoelstra trying to manipulate the matchup to get OG off Tyler Hero so Hero could go at Brunson one-on-one. OG was not going to have it. Double up on the ball, make him move the ball. Hero made the right play, led to a wide-open shot. But sometimes it's okay if it's a wide-open shot if it's the guy the Knicks want taking the shot, not Tyler Hero taking the shot.
And how big was the fact, like, again, all the chance of it, it was short, which led to momentum. Josh Hart got the ball facing the other end of the basket already. Like,
well, he's short on it. Don't get me started on that. So that means he really didn't want the shot. he kind of.
But that's a big deal because if it misses that long, or it's just the way it missed, it led to it. So it was perfect, as Clyde would say, serendipity. But that only tied the game. We still had overtime. So more Brunson brilliance in overtime. And this is something you showed in pregame, reversing the screen.
Right.
They do it here, and it works once again to perfection.
Yep, it's a great job of showing the screen on one side, so the defense reacts to it on one side, and then all of a sudden you flip the screen at the last second, so there's no help there for Jalen Brunson's defender, which is Davion Mitchell on this play. Okay, now freeze it here. Now look, here comes OG Anunoby. He's coming up to set the screen this way, but then at the last second, he'll flip it over and he'll set it this way, which the defender here, Bam Adebayo, is confused because he thinks the screen's coming this way, so he's coming to show and help over here, but then the screen flips, so he's not in help position, and this defender here doesn't realize Jalen Brunson can shoot it 2 or 3 feet behind the three-point line, and Jalen just pulls it right in front of him. That's an unbelievable play by Jalen Brunson, and that's Highsmith again. He's got to know to get up higher and not let Jalen Brunson have any airspace to get that shot. If that ball is kicked out to Josh Hart, who is his man, the Heat are fine with it. Coach Spoelstra is fine with it. Just do not let Jalen Brunson beat us, and they did let Jalen Brunson beat him.
And a lot of teams have tried to say that this season, don't let Jalen Brunson beat you, and he has a lot this season. 14 of the last 23 points scored by the captain.
The Knicks win in Miami by 4 in overtime. OG Anunoby all over the court, scored 23 points. Here he is now after the game.
OG, they had a big first half offensively, but you guys really changed things in the second half. What changed on your end?
Just locking in, getting stops, running out in transition, and then taking our open shots.
You had a couple of big sequences. First, the block on Tyler Hero when he tried to fire up that 3 from the top. What was your read on that play?
Oh, just react to whatever he's doing. See what he's doing, and then, yes, react to it.
How about the follow-up? You guys are down 4 in the final minute. Brunson misses the 3, and you're right there. Talk about what you saw on that play.
Just crashing the glass, being aggressive, and just try to tip it in, and it worked.
Talk about down by 19 in the third quarter. What does a win like this say about your team's character and toughness?
Oh, just how resilient, how tough, how talented we are. Even when we're down, we can always come back. So just staying with it, never getting too down or too high or too whatever. Just continue to play until the game's over.
Biggest Knick comeback win of the year. Jalen Brunson at 31. We are back to wrap things up right after this. Stay with us, everybody. All right, welcome back, everyone. So the standings in the Eastern Conference, the Cavs victorious over Portland. Boston beat Denver. Knicks win. So the Knicks 2.5 behind Boston for second place in the Eastern Conference. Back now from the Corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So next up, guys, Wally, the Knicks are home against the Warriors, and then they go west for 5 in a row, including a game at the Warriors.
I know this game against the Warriors is going to be fun. Jimmy Butler in that lineup didn't play, although he didn't play last night against Philadelphia. They lost. Grimes with the 44 big points. This is going to be a fun game at the Garden, and then you got to go out west, take care of business. This team can win anywhere. They're showing resilience. A trip like that brings this team closer together. Got Mitchell Robinson back in the lineup. There's a lot of good things to look forward to for this Knicks squad.
You've got your whole lineup now.
Yes.
20 games to go.
Exactly.
Like, this is now your ability to really see the different ways you can play this lineup, and at some point we will end up seeing Mitchell Robinson and Anthony Towns together on the court.
You think we will? You think we will?
Oh, I think you've got to look at it in the regular season. So you're going to have to see it at some point. So there's a lot of very interesting things going on here, but there's also trying to lock up at worst that 3 seed, because you're getting closer and closer to it. 5.5 games up now.
Yeah.
Of the 4th seed.
Point. Maybe get to 2. Only 2.5 back of the Celtics.
Now, obviously, 2 in a second-round series against Boston, if you're the 2 seed, gets home court advantage. Right. So that obviously is very significant. Knicks have that to play for.
Still there.
They're obviously a lock for a top 6 spot, and they are at home against the Warriors on Tuesday, at the Lakers Thursday. Both those games are national TV games. You can listen on ESPN New York, the radio broadcast. So our next game here on MSG, Knicks the Clippers Friday, pregame at 10, game at 10:30, and also stream our coverage on MSG Plus now on the Gotham Sports app. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free, or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.